Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of our open mic program. We do have Senator John Boozman with us, and Senator is a ranking member of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry. This is really neat. We're at the great ranch called the Flying C Ranch here outside of Conway. It's amazing.
We are. We're at a big cow-calf operation, and we're all over the state this week looking at a variety of different farms. But this one really is on the cutting edge regarding technology and just doing a good job and have kind of an interesting way of how they market their beef.
You know, it's amazing when we see you get out of D.C., it's like real people when you come here. You know, isn't it? Isn't it great to come to farms?
It's good to be around a lot of normal people with good common sense.
And that's the way it is. Well, you know, Dr. Robert Clark, I've got to say, we appreciate you having us in your home. And I mean, I feel like I'm in a ranch.
Thank you. You're sure welcome to be here, and we're proud to have y'all.
You know, I tell you, I love it because this is what I think we're going to step it up a little bit on these interviews because you got all this food that we get to eat and snack on. I think this needs to be a normal way of doing interview with the senator.
I think so.
He knows the key to my heart.
No, we're happy to have an opportunity to express ourselves. The senator taking time to come and see this makes you kind of believe in what you're doing. We've really been blessed here that we've had opportunities, and then we've either been smart enough or lucky enough to take some of these opportunities. Having the senator here, there's so many times that we talk about we don't want the government interfering with how we run business. But a lot of times they don't interfere. They really help. The farm service programs have been really beneficial to us, probably as much as anything we do. We appreciate that. We hope they keep coming. We hope that this lifestyle can be continued. I have made a good deal of effort to try to see that the family keeps the farm in the future. I realize now I've got several kids. They're all professional people. They're all successful in their own way. They like the farm, but they really don't love the farm. That's all there is to it. So Michael is the one that has kind of inherited and had the interest to do this. And it's been a blessing that he's good at it. So what we want, hopefully, to be able to sustain this, make it grow, make it so that it's financially sustainable as well as environmentally. There's some help that we need from the senator. One is, of course, we really worry from year to year when something happens to me, what are they going to do with the value of my land? Are they going to have to peddle some of it to pay for it?
And that's something that you've dealt with for years. We've talked about.
We have, and the problem is right now one of the pay-fors for this $3.5 trillion mother of all spending bills is actually making it where they eliminate the stepped-up basis. So this would go back, the tax before you inherited the farm would go back to, what, 1980?
Yes.
So you can imagine what that would do and cost them many, many thousands of dollars, to the point that operations like this they're land rich and cash poor. And so as a result, they probably would have to sell off some of the real estate in order to go forward, breaking up family farms.
That's something we've got to stop, and I actually think it's very important to see.
Very much, and the first thing Michael said, got out of the car, so I'm with him 100%. There's a lot of people out there that are fighting this battle, but this is a real threat to agriculture in rural America.
You know, that's something that, as being a nurse, Ms. Clark, you retired as a nurse. Tell us a little bit about how you got this going. It's an amazing story.
Well, first of all, I had a great career being a registered nurse, loved nursing, and my passion for helping people kind of went from taking care of my patients into educating people about the farm life. You know, I have to thank Washington County because they started this program called Farm Friends about, I'd say 15, maybe almost 20 years ago. Johnny Gonzalez started this program because they had done this study, and they did a survey of second graders, and they asked the second graders, where does your tomatoes come from? Where does your hamburgers come from? You know, where does your milk come from? You know, they didn't know it came from the farm. They'd say Kroger, you know, Walmart. So we wanted to educate the second graders. And so we implemented a program, the Agriculture Committee here in Faulkner County. Ours is called Farm Roundup. So I found that my passion to help people kind of transition to educate young people or just people in general about farm and being good stewards of the land and knowing how to raise your own food, but how to take care of your animals and the meat that you get. You know, you've got to take care of it to have good meat.
It's true. And so then you started, and then you guys went in from vegetables to calving.
Well, I always had cattle, but I went from making jellies. Well, I retired in 2013, Bob. I told you that. And so I was afraid I was going to get bored. So I told I told Bob, I said, I think I would like to sell my jellies. I love to make jellies and baked goods. I think I'd like to sell that at the farmer's market. He said, really? And I said, yeah, I think I would. Well, I had a great year. And then in 2014, he asked me, what about selling some of our beef as freezer beef? So we did. My jelly sales went down. Our beef sales went up. So basically, it's education and providing a good product. You know, providing food and nutrition, you know, for the locals and for everyone.
You know, that's what it's all about. I mean,
No, and nobody does it better than America. Safest, cheapest food supply of any place in the world.
you know, that's something you see in Michael as the son and the one who's, I guess, is kind of like Hoss Cartwright would say, you know, if you work the land, you get the land. I mean, and they were really working you. So you started with a small operation, kind of turns into where you got spring and fall.
Yeah, when we first started this, we sold all our calves straight off the farm to buyers out west, probably close to 300 head. And we had the idea of the farm to table program. Like Mom said, it was more about education than making a buck, you know, and that has always been at the forefront of our program is education for the consumer. And so when we started this, we kind of started downsizing to produce more from less, if you will. We wanted to be more efficient, more sustainable at this. We started doing genetic testing, started seeing where our genetics lined up with the industry. Were they good enough? They weren't at the time, but over a course of 7 or 8 years, we produced some really good calves. And that just didn't start overnight. That started with us getting involved, getting out there, asking questions we didn't know anything about. And so I think it starts with ourselves, is we have to realize we don't know everything. You know, once you realize that and start asking people, hey, I want to know this. And I think that's where you better yourself in this industry. In this industry, what we do with Farm to Table, it's not about making money. It's about education, yes, but it's about relationships. I have met a lot of great people, just as like Senator Boozman, through what we do. And like he said, nobody does it better than America. And it's the relationships we make and what makes it even better at the end of the day. It's been really neat to watch. This is definitely a great team here. I can't do it by myself. All I do, I think, is eat. But Mom, she can sell just about anything. And Doc, he is kind of the CEO, COO, whatever we call him at the day. But my wife, Lauren, she's kind of behind the scenes. She does everything on social media. And because me, Mom, and Doc, we can't do that.
Yeah, she does.
Everything would break down if we did.
Yeah.
But it definitely takes a family to run this thing. And that goes back to we were talking about the inheritance tax. Without the family, the farm would be nothing.
Well, and that's why it's all about when you look at it, too, and that's why it's a big battle.
It is. It is a big battle, and it's something we're working on very, very hard. It's interesting, though, you know, you think of farming in traditional ways, but you all have a very non-traditional model, and it's just changing with the times. Your jellies, you know, trying to figure out, you know, how you can sell product and having a good product, and the rest of it takes care of itself. And then the beef, you know, selling directly to the customer. We do need to work so much harder. We've got money in the pipeline with additional dollars for processing. I know the state also is trying to help in that regard. So these are good things. But I really do want to compliment you on the fact that you have changed the traditional model, and as a result are not only helping yourselves, but you really are providing people with an excellent quality product, which we all enjoy.
It's great. We appreciate you guys having us here in your home for open mic. What an education.
Yeah, no, very much. And again, thank you for taking the time, but it is so very important. It's a great story to tell, and there's nothing more important than rural America, and you all are such a big part of that.
And Michael, now, where do we find you guys on social media?
My wife, Lauren, will have to help me on that one.
Okay.
Sure. So we're on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us at Flying Sea Ranch AR for Arkansas.
Okay, that sounds great. We appreciate y'all having us.
Thank you, Bob.
That was great.